We're turning now to a current event happening on Monday. November is National Native American Heritage Month, and on Monday, the Moline Public Library is hosting a talk all about the role Native women played in Illinois' history, as well as just what life was like. But you don't have to wait until Monday, because we sat down with the presenter for a sneak peek, new tonight, here on The Current. We are so honored to be joined by Kim Sigafus, a Native American author and presenter out of Freeport, Illinois. Kim, thank you so much for being here with us.
Well, thank you for your interest.
Why don't we
Um,
start by introducing who you are?
sure. Like I said, my name is Kim. My native name is Becca Dezikwa. Actually, it's an Ojibwa name. It means quiet woman, which may or may not describe me on any given day, I suppose. My family's from Minnesota. We're from White Earth Reservation, which is about an hour east of Fargo. And when I come into the Moline Library on Monday at 6 p.m., I'm going to be talking about the Native women and the culture. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about the tribes that were here. Many tribes in Illinois. There were obviously Ojibwa here. There were the Kaskaskia, Miami, Sauk, Fox, Ho-Chunk, many other tribes. The Illini, obviously, were here as well. And so we're going to be talking about how they lived here and how did they go about their daily lives? Hunting, fishing. And we're going to talk about marriage rituals. We're going to talk about two women that were kind of important in the Native culture here in Illinois. And I'm going to talk a little bit about them as well. And one of them being Singing Bird, who is the wife of Black Hawk. Now, we don't hear a lot about Native women because they were actually known as the hidden ones. We knew they were there, but we don't know a whole lot about them. And the men didn't talk a whole lot about us. And so it's time they get brought to the forefront.
As much as I would love for you to give your full presentation right now, why don't we give people just a taste? So if
Sure.
they're interested, they can come out on Monday. So what I'm particularly interested in is the courtship and marriage rituals that you're going to be talking about on Monday.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to specifically talk about two Native women. One is Potawatomi and Ho-Chunk, and her name is Honaniga. And what happened was she married Stephen Mack, who was an American Fur Company employee. He was a fur trader. And he just went to her parents and asked for her permission, or their permission to marry her, Honaniga. And so they said, sure, but we need to see your bride price. And the bride price is kind of like a dowry. And so he came to dinner that night and he brought with him some things that he hoped was going to be good enough for them to allow him to marry Honaniga. And so he brought with him two beautiful horses, two fine saddles, and two lovely blankets. And that was enough for them. They were happy and they gave their permission, and that was it. That was their whole marriage ritual. And so completely unlike what we do now. It's a little bit different for Singing Bird than it was for Honaniga. Singing Bird came from the Sauk culture, and actually in that culture, men can have more than one wife. And we're going to discuss why Singing Bird was Black Hawk's only wife, and we'll discuss that when we get into the program on Monday.
Well, Kim, when people come out on Monday, what do you want them to take away from your presentation?
I want them to know that we're still here and we are still trying to live as traditionally as possible in a very busy world. I want people to understand that there were a lot of Native people that were here at one time, and they really carved out the culture in Illinois as well as the landscape of Illinois. And so, and how important Native women were to the culture and how important women are to every culture, not just the Native culture. And so, with it being National Native American Heritage Month, I think it's important to remember that we were here, we lived here. This was our hometown. This was our villages and our, where we were. And so everywhere you look around you has some Native connection. Some Native person walked the same land that you're on at one time.
Mm. Kim, I cannot thank you enough for your time today. I know you are incredibly busy, and we're looking forward to Monday. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
And And we have all the information about Monday night's event at the Moline Public Library up on our website underneath the As Seen on TV tab.